So, Kate, I want to like pivot a little bit because you talked about something in yours where you talked about trends, and I really want to get this topic. So, Kate, actually, let's start this with Praz. Let's start this with you. When you think about the generative AI trends for the next, call it 12 months, or what are some of those trends that you're seeing for finance and data professionals?
Yeah, so some of these trends that I'm seeing is really finance looking to generate use cases in terms of where to start and how to start it. So some of the trends I've seen are areas such as, you talked about it yourself, invoice matching, intercompany reconciliations and things like that. That's one area that can be automated completely with AI and generate results for you. And then lets you do the analysis. The other areas, for example, is really simple ones, expense management, using an expense management tool to really understand what your trends are, what your flows are, make recommendations based on your spending patterns or guidelines and things like that. And, provide, anomaly detection in that area. Other areas that we're seeing in, obviously, are the very simple ones, but are probably some of the most important ones. And budgeting and forecasting, doing, asking the systems to generate forecasts for you based on your data set, the data set you're predicting, and really help generate results based on that. So I think there's various use cases based on the different areas of finance. But I think, one of the things is that all this can come together later on once these simple use cases are defined and they proceed upon.
Nice, nice. Yeah, budgeting, planning, getting it out there, man. Then, what are your thoughts? Some
I'm going to go
trends
with
that
a
you're seeing.
Yeah, I'm going to go with a different type of trend. And what you're starting to see is finance taking over some of the transformation function, some of the innovation function. You're seeing this at Meta, Google, Airbnb just recently did it. Last year, McDonald's put a VP of finance in charge of transformation. And the reason for that is, number one, finance is one of those organizations that just, because of the nature of the role, finance understands how data can deliver value. They understand how to measure impact, how to really do some of that experimentation. They have a strategic mindset about using data analytics, and models are part of, they have that mathematical literacy as well as that model literacy. And so that is one of the trends I'm seeing more and more clients talk about. It was, a few people 3 or 4 years ago, it was a few people saying, where does the data organization live? Where should that function be? Where should it exist in the company? And finance was one of the options that makes a lot of sense. And I think you're going to see more companies go in that direction, because finance, in this case, can be a leader. They can be an example to the rest of the business of how data analytics and machine learning transform organizations, transform workflows, and how data should be used to improve business outcomes, but how there's that critical connection where you have to understand the workflow that you're supporting. You have to really have granular visibility with the data into what you're supporting in order to do anything after that. And so it starts with gathering high quality data and making it accessible from any place in the business to any other place in the business that might need it to improve decision making, to deliver productivity improvements through automation or augmentation. So finance, really, that's the trend I'm starting to see pick up momentum. Clients are looking at finance and saying, this might be the right place for transformation to live, because it's efficient transformation. It's transformation with a focus on bottom line impacts. So I think there's a partnership emerging here, and that's one of the trends I'm seeing increasingly, is that finance has a bigger role to play in transformation, in innovation, and in getting traction for data and analytics, as well as really AI in general.
Nice, nice. I promise my ears went up because I think of true XP&A now. We're actually like
Yeah.
there now, really actually getting that inside the business, right? Fundamentally, I may be biased, and Kay, we'll get you. I may be biased, but there's no functional area inside of a business that has more data feeding it than finance. We see
Absolutely.
everything: sales, marketing, operations, HR.
But now we
Kate,
can see
you
it
just said
better.
you got. Yeah, go ahead, Pros.
I was just saying, now we can see it better. That's it, pretty much.
Yep. Okay, so you were at an AI summit. Trends you talk about. What are some of those hot ones that you want to share with people?
Yeah, when I think about the future, I tend to look into my crystal ball just just to see what sort of predictions we can make. And today, the crystal ball, and yesterday at the AI Summit, I noticed that there's a lot of focus on using generative AI to continue this theme of data democratization and data literacy. So what generative AI has the capability to do, and I actually did this right before our live show, is if you upload a dashboard, not only just a chart, but an actual dashboard, picture of a dashboard into GPT-4 and ask for an explanation like, hey, what's going on here? It will explain literally every chart bit by bit of how it is interpreting that dashboard. Then you can even say, hey, write an executive summary for the board about this dashboard. And it basically, if folks are not data literate, they can't really understand charts, or if they simply just don't have the access to more information, generative AI has the capability to close some of those gaps. And another thing I'm seeing is the potential of using Gen AI for unstructured data, right? So for the longest time, we've been able to use tools and technologies to address structured data, so rows and columns. And now we can actually drop in unstructured data. For example, I took all of my reviews from Amazon and I copy pasted them. I have a book called Colorwise, which you'll see here and there. I dropped in all of the reviews, the written ones, into ChatGPT, and I said, "Hey, how is this book? You know, give me an overall star rating." And the crazy thing was that the star rating that ChatGPT came up with, based on the text that was submitted, it came up with the exact same star rating that Amazon had on its overall star. So I thought that was pretty interesting. I know we're getting close to time, so I'll cut it here.
I love the crystal ball like that. That's that is very very nice. I think for me, one of the trends that I see just specifically in finance, right, and this is where it starts the conversation where I was like, we're late to the party. I feel as though like next year, it's like I think CFOs, finance, FP&A professionals have all been like, I got it, I got it, I got it, I got it. Like I'm less about theory, like show me application, like show me proof of value, show me how we can how I can get out of what I call the decision cycle circle, right? Because right now when I think of the decision cycle, right, it's processes drive data, data to information, information to knowledge, knowledge to make a business decision. Right now most finance organizations, people are all part of that process, right? They start the process of getting the data from the GL, right? You customize that data to turn it into like one of your a model, right? Then you get that model, and this is where process, we don't spend that time on that knowledge and decision now. This is where when you think about where generative AI in the future is like, give me that application to where I'm not in process data information, I'm directly into knowledge, right? Like give me that, so now I can spend my time, energy, effort, focus, and resources on knowledge to decision. That to me is a huge trend that I think in the next 12 months, finance professionals, we're hungry. We're gonna be like, hey, show me, like, let's get down to it. So